wishful thinking. In my hopeful days, I'll never know, for I've kept my peace, and now those moments will only decrease. Just if I'd have told you what could have been, just could we have been more than what we've seen? Fear of losing you held me back. Now it's the regret that I can't unpack. If just once I'd said what I felt inside, maybe this regret wouldn't haunt my nights. But we'll never know. I stayed silent, you see, and just friends is all we'll ever be.
You say don't text too much, then you text me first, that's clutch. We joke then we get quiet. Yes, that's how sparks disguise it. Your hair's messy, I don't care. You laugh loud, I just stare. Every word's a sideways stare, but somehow we still connect. You roll your eyes, I grin. We both lose and win. No plans, no plan. Just circles don't define. It's a dance we both design. Every joke hides what's true. I say less cause I feel you. We talk in circles, don't explain. Still your tone says my name. We keep yeah. You ask why you look at me. I say you're just symmetry. Yeah. You push back, I lean in. Every no ends in a grin. Your sleep brushes mine. It's off beat, but on time. No script, no filter. Just that late night shimmer. You sleep slow, I stare, pretend I don't care. You talk soft, I pause. We both know you call. We talk in circles, don't define. It's a dance we both design. Every joke hides what's true. I say less cause I feel you. We talk in circles, don't explain. Still your tone says my name. We keep it cool, don't confess, but it's love, just undressed. Yeah, and you said cool and smile back. We play dumb, stay clear, but I still pull you in. Yeah, every laugh's too long, every silence a song. We're not fooling anyone, but it's more fun. We talk in circles, that's our thing. You say stop, I say sing. We keep our hearts off beat. This rhythm we both need. We talk in circles, no stress, no names, no life, but somehow it's real right now. Yeah, 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 yeah. We
mahusay at galing na mga LGUs sa buong Pilipinas.
Ang interes, kapakanan at pangangailangan ng lahat ng sektor, kasama ang at mga kapatid nating Muslim.
Higit nating isusulong ang seryoso at determinadong kampanya kontra sa iligal na droga, krimen at terorismo sa pakikipagtulungan ng buong puwersa ng gobyerno, pulisya at ng mga mamamayan.
Isa sa katuparan natin ang modernisasyon ng Bureau of Fire Protection upang mapigilan at mas mapabilis ang pagsugpo sa sunog, mabilis na pagtugon sa emergency calls at pagresponde sa panahon ng kalamidad.
Kagaya ng bagyo, baha at lindol upang mas maraming buhay at pamayanan ang mailigtas.
Pag-iibayuhin ang decongestion at reform program sa mga piitan upang mapabuti ang kalagayan ng mga persons deprived of liberty at sila'y mayanda sa ganap na pagbabagong buhay.
Gagamitin natin ang teknolohiya at iba pang makabagong kaisipan upang mapabilis, mapalakas at mapadali ang operasyon at sistema sa pag-aangat ng kalidad ng pamamahala sa mga LGUs at sa buong kagawaran.
Upang magampanan natin ang lahat ng ito, bibigyan pansin natin ang angkop na pagpapalakas ng ating mga kagamitan, pasilidad at kapasidad ng ating mga tauhan.
Upang higit nating mapaghusay at mapabilis ang pagsasakatuparan ng ating mandato at layunin para sa mga mamamayang Pilipino.
Inaasahan ko na ang bawat membro ng DILG family ay buong pusong kikilos upang makamit ang mga hangarin na napapaloob sa ating strategic plan.
Higit pa sa mga nailatag na plano, makakaasa ang sambayanan sa ating taus-pusong pagsasabuhay sa ating pangako.
Na maging matino, mahusay at maasahang kagawaran.
Kaya, inaanyayahan namin ang bawat isa
na kumilos,
magambag
at makibahagi
Kasama-sama nating pagtupad ng ating mga pangarap.
para sa kahusayan at kalidad na serbisyo.
Para sa kapayapaan,
Kaligtasan,
Katatagan,
at kaunlaran.
sama-sama at kapit-bisig nating tiyakin ang tagumpay nating lahat para makamit ang bagong Pilipinas.
ito na ang panahon
Ito ang panahon ng panahon.
Ito na ang panahon
para mag-unite tayo.
para mag-unite tayo. Para mag-unite tayo. Para mag-unite tayo.
Para mag-unite tayo.
para mag-unite tayo.
para mag-unite tayo.
Ito ang panahon para mag-unite tayo.
Para sa bawat Pilipino.
Para sa bawat Pilipino.
Para sa bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat at mabuhay ang DILG.
Sabi ko na good governance kasi ito yung butterfly ng MPFL. Good governance include inclusivity, transparency, accountability, participation, leadership. So nakita namin lahat yun. Kung mahinang klase ang leader, I believe walang patungan yung programa niya. Pero nakita natin, that is a concrete example of a good governance.
structural integrity, wala po kaming masabi since considering considering po yung geographical or yung topography natin sa area na pataas, paliko, pataas, baba, ay na-implement at wala po kaming nakita halos na actually wala talagang graphs.
The road to development is the road itself. Nakita namin yan sa panig ng pangkalusugan. Nakita namin kung gaano kaimportante na meron tayong mga kalsada papunta sa ating mga dibdib na
Nasurok 8 Agasot ng umili ti Barangay Tamak, Villa Viciosa, Abra, timang namnama itinapinpintas sa serbisyo para iti salunat, babaen ti pan nakainagurar ti 2-story Barangay Health Station. Ti Barangay Tamak ket benepisyaryo ti Support to Barangay Development Program, ti National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, wenno NTF-ELCAP.
Since ngawan pa lang dayti barbaro nga Barangay Health Station tayo, nakakaasip man dagiti pasyente nga handapi man nga matamang nga nalaing gaputa temporary health center pa lang ti ayan miidi nga pagdyut-dyutian. Tatan po na may mayaten iti panakatamingdan masasasaven po iti privacy dagiti pasyente tayo.
Naragsa kami unay nga tatala nga maarami daytoy wenno addan daytoy may isa ka tagtagainep dagiti inmon una nga barangay officials.
Daytoy nga proyekto apo naggapo kanyayo nga umili. Kasi kayo apo iti nag-identify. Si kayo apo iti nanibagano anya iti masapol yun ito'y nga barangay. And with that, daytoy nga modern para kanyayo.
Kada kayo nga taga-tamak, kagipaggan nyo kumaritoy, kapwede ka sa mausar tayo, iti napaot at tiyempo.
In paganet-getmet ni Vice Mayor Marjorie Lagen, ti partnership plan ti LGU can PhilHealth para ti maternity care package program nga mangted tinapateg a healthcare services para kadagiti masikog aging gana agana.
Manong nga tao-en or 50 no bilangin tayo mga nasurok nga 50 tao-en 53 years nahan na tayo nga nabisita ti gobyerno. Pero gapo dati nga programa nga paay ti Duterte administrasyon at dada kito'y taktan serbisyo publiko nga dimanon kanya kayo. So apo datoy kwarta datoy ti ketmi ket datoy ti may kanyayo awan ti politika toy apo kasi ti Bonadya National no nya ti kayat ti barangay iso ti kantitet tayo kanya da ang dikta ti politika apo datoy nga kwarta ket tuloy ito mga suportaran tayo dati nga gobyerno ket dati sumarno nga gobyerno ket dawatek na anyo nga siguro dagiti bisita to ito anyo nga panpansinan dagiti pangalalilaw iti kanya tayo dagiti kapsat tayo di bangerhan tayo mamatmati awan ti kinagpaiso na ako dati kinagpaiso na data anta pa yung kayat ngiktan tumatipundo dagiti nga barangay tapno dalan pangalalilaw na kanya
projects, particularly the access rules, will help improve the living conditions of our people, and you will have easier access to education, health, and government services. The improvement of roads will not only make travel easier, but will also spur economic development in the long run. So we at DILG are very happy that finally the priority projects of Barangay Tambuan are now completed. So ang katitalo, imuna ako, the construction of Sitio Gawit Access Road, may kabuan siya upgrading of Tambuan Barangay Road, and may katlo, the construction and improvement of Dandanak Madagan Access Road. At amuyo pa'y, ako, dagiti that project, talong nga projects ito'y nga na-complete iti Tambuan, that iso na first nga ma-inaugurate can turn over ito'y Cordillera. This is because of good governance in this place and the active participation of our kakailian. Maawan kayo ako nga vigilant nga makita nga ma-implement nga nasaya at nagito'y the projects at hantay mga masimpa. At maawan ti good governance nagito'y the provincial and municipal level kayo kat haan nga malpas data at abuti mapanti-graft and corruption. Nakita tayo nga mayat kita nakaaramid na nagito'y the projects, and I believe that's part of good governance.
When there is peace, there is progress. Iso nga siya, istenta pa ng support na si gobyerno. Aliw kang karan pa, aliw kang karan sila sa kabangi-bangay barangayan, mun suporta kayo ako CNP, tawari yan as project. Well, tayo nyo rin, ng kalsada sila. Haanmat ngayon ka, barangay sa Dagijay. Yung apay na sumangkat kalsada. Siguro, Tijuana, anyang itada ti programa nga inkak, datayo ti Inmayana, iso nga agpasalamat tayo, hantay yung programa, agsuportar tayo mo tagita ti pundo.
Ti best practice nga may sa di tama mo ti cross partnership, ti community, kanagiti concerned agencies. So nga naman na dati no ada man problema nga arise ket nangamong ti community nga mang solve out iti masapsapang panahon kanti may sa ti day ko ibagbagang close coordination kas pagarigan iti no dati mapasamak iti reinforming ragos iti contractors or nagidjayhan tayo nga mapadaanan nga disaster diay ken ti amin-aminan ang nabalin nga inaramid mi nga alang ati barangay officials no di whole city barangay citizenry tapos ti implementation as to implementation ket talaga nga may ti panang implementar dagiti contractors nga nang itrabaho ken nagiti project ay PIC project in charge tapos nagiti ibagbagak close coordinations partnerships ti community Iti kontraktor kan nagiti engineers. Salamat kami iti idya nga proyekto. And hoping that is not the end, but is just the beginning. Tapos iti may commit mi ket Taiwanan mi dagiti jay proyekto nga nalpas, dagiti jay madamaken jay sumangbay itong proyekto. No anyaman dagiti jay naramin mi nga mamayat. So da jay ti itarimaan mi kano anyaman ti failures na jay so ti padason mi nga mangibali mo.
Noong taong 2019, pinagtibay ng Korte Suprema ang desisyon ukol sa dalawang magkahiwalay na petisyon na inihain ng nooy Batangas Congressional Representative Hermilando Mandanas at ng dating Bataan Congressional Representative Enrique Garcia Jr. Ang mga petisyong ito ay nagtatanong kung tama ba ang pagtuos ng national government sa nararapat na alokasyon ng taunang pondo, ang Internal Revenue Allotment o IRA ng mga local government units o LGUs na magmumula sa nakukolektang buwis ng pamahalaan at kung ang alokasyong ito ay naayon sa ating saligang batas. Kinukwestiyon ng pinagbuklod na petisyon ang basihan ng alokasyon ng mga LGUs. Inihiling din ng petisyon na iutos ng Korte Suprema na ang IRA ay magmula sa lahat ng buwis mula sa pamahalaang nasyonal tulad ng National Internal Revenue Taxes pati na rin ang mga customs duties. Hinihingi rin ng petisyon na ito ang pagbabayad ng tinatayang nasa 500 bilyong piso para sa sinasabing kulang na alokasyon ng IRA simula pa noong taong 1992 hanggang sa taong 2012. Ang desisyong ito ay tinatawag na Mandanas-Garcia Ruling at ilan sa mga kasamang probisyon ay: una, idineklara ng Korte na ang internal revenue na nakasaad sa Republic Act No. 7160 o Local Government Code of 1991 bilang basihan ng alokasyon ng LGUs ay unconstitutional o hindi naayon sa saligang batas. Ayon sa nasabing kapasyahan, binabago ng probisyong 284 ng Local Government Code ang basihan ng alokasyon ng LGUs na ngayon ay dapat na ang nakalaang pondo ay magmumula sa lahat ng nalikom na buwis ng national government. Nakasaad din sa nasabing kautusan na ang nasabing hakbang ay taliwas sa isinasaad ng saligang batas. Iwinawas to ng ruling ang kaakibat na probisyon ng Local Government Code pati na ang implementing rules and regulations nito. Pangalawa, ang pag-uutos sa mga kalihim ng Department of Finance, Department of Budget and Management, mga commissioners ng Bureau of Internal Revenue, Bureau of Customs at ang National Treasurer na isama ang lahat ng uri ng buwis sa alokasyon ng mga LGU. Ang alokasyon ng mga LGU ngayon ay magmumula sa mga buwis tulad ng income tax, estate and donors taxes, value-added taxes o VAT, other percentage taxes, excise taxes, documentary stamp taxes o DSTs, mga ibang buwis na maaaring ipataw ng BIR kinalaunan, pati na ang mga customs duties at mga taripa mula naman sa Bureau of Customs. Hindi kasama dito ang mga special purpose funds at mga special allotments na nakalaan para sa pagpapaunlad ng yaman ng bansa. Dahil dito, ang bahagi ng LGUs mula sa koleksyon ng buwis na dati ay IRA ay tinatawag na ngayong NATA o National Tax Allotment. At pangatlo, alinsunod sa Section 284 ng Republic Act No. 7160, isa sa ayos ang alokasyon ng mga LGUs simula sa taong 2022. Para suportahan ng desisyon ng Korte Suprema, nilagdaan ni Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte noong June 1, 2021 ang Executive Order No. 138 o ang full devolution of certain functions of the executive branch to local governments, creation of Committee on Devolution, and for other purposes. Dito ay binubuo ang isang Committee on Devolution o CAPDEV upang mangasiwa at subaybayan ang implementasyon ng layunin ng full devolution kung saan co-chairpersons ang mga kalihim ng Department of Budget and Management pati na ang Department of the Interior and Local Government. Miyembro rin ng komite ang mga kalihim ng Department of Finance at National Economic and Development Authority, Executive Secretary, pati na ang mga pangulo ng League of Provinces of the Philippines, League of Cities of the Philippines, League of Municipalities of the Philippines, Liga ng mga Barangay sa Pilipinas, at Union of Local Authorities of the Philippines. Sisiguruhin din ang pagbibigay kaalaman at kakayahan sa mga LGUs sa pamamagitan ng mga capacity development interventions upang makabuo ang mga LGU ng mga mekanismo para sa epektibo at mabisang paggamit ng mga karampatang resources sa paghatid ng mga devolved functions at services sa publiko. Kasama rin sa mga interventions na ito ay ang institutionalization ng mga service delivery at performance standards tulad ng Seal of Good Local Governance ng DILG at mga kaakibat na iba't ibang mga incentive mechanisms. Bibigyan pansin din ang pagpapabuti ng mga kakayahan ng LGUs sa larangan ng planning, investment programming, and budgeting linkages and monitoring and evaluation systems. Ito ay para masiguro na naaayon at tugma ang mga prioridad ng bawat level ng pamahalaan, kasama na rin ang pagtugon sa pangangailangan ng iba't ibang sektor. Binigyang paglilinaw din ng EO 138 ang papel na ginagampanan ng national government at ng mga LGUs. Mas pagtutuunan ng pansin ng mga national government agencies ang paglalatag ng mga national policies, development strategies at mga service delivery standards, habang ang mga LGUs ang magpapatupad ng mga devolved functions and basic services katulad ng serbisyong pangkalusugan, infrastruktura, edukasyon, social services at iba pa. Dito ay kinakailangan ng masusing koordinasyon at pagpaplano sa bawat level ng pamahalaan. Ito ay magiging posible sa pamamagitan ng tinatawag na Devolution Transition Plans o DTPs. Ang DTPs ang gabay upang masiguro na naaayon ng mga sistema at estratehiya sa paglilipat at pagtanggap ng iba't ibang mga devolved functions. Isa rin itong pamamaraan ng monitoring at performance assessment ng mga LGUs sa pagpapatupad ng mga nasabing devolved functions. Babalangkas ng kani-kanilang DTPs ang lahat ng level ng mga LGU mula sa mga barangay hanggang sa mga lalawigan. Pinamumunuan ng mga local chief executives ang kani-kanilang mga Devolution Transition Committee na siyang mangunguna sa responsibilidad para sa paghahanda at pagsasaayos ng mga LGU DTPs. Nilalaman ng mga DTPs ang listahan ng kasalukuyang estado ng mga devolved functions at services sa LGUs at kung ano-ano ang mga serbisyo at pasilidad na kanilang kailangan pang ipatupad. Kasama rin dito ang phasing o pagpapatupad ng mga devolved functions base sa prioridad at naaayon sa kanilang abilidad at kapasidad. Parte rin ng DTPs ang pagbabalangkas ng mga kinakailangang capacity development requirements na nakasaad sa kanilang CAPDEV agenda para mapaigting ang kanilang kakayahan. At kasama rin ang proposed changes sa organizational structure and staffing pattern para siguradong may angkop at sapat na personnel ang mga LGUs para magampanan ang mga devolved functions at services. Nakasaad din sa mga DTPs ang mga paraan kung paano makakalikom ng karagdagang pondo ang mga LGUs sa inaasahang pagbaba ng National Tax Allotment sa darating na taong 2023 at 2024 dahil sa epekto ng COVID-19 pandemic. Kailangan rin ay may nakasaad na performance targets at mga estratehiya kung paano masusukat ang implementasyon at resulta ng paggampan ng mga devolved functions. At panghuli, lahat ng LGU DTPs ay kinakailangan dumaan sa review and approval process ng sanggunian na pinagtibay sa pamamagitan ng sanggunian resolution. Ang mga component cities at municipalities ay kinakailangan makipag-ugnayan sa kanilang mga provincial government para sa maayos na paggamit ng resources at pamamahala ng karagdagang mga responsibilidad sa mga devolved functions. Ganon din sa mga barangay sa kanilang mga component city o munisipalidad. Ang Mandanas-Garcia ruling ay isang importanteng hakbang tungo sa pagkamit ng genuine local autonomy. Nilinaw ng ruling na ito ang karampatang alokasyon ng mga LGUs mula sa buwis upang matiyak ang fiscal decentralization. Ito rin ay magbibigay daan sa sistematikong pagkakahanay at harmonization ng mga nasyonal at lokal na prioridad at layunin. Simula sa taong 2022, mas magkakaroon pa ng kakayahan at kalayaan ang mga LGU upang magdesisyon tungo sa pagpapabuti ng mga serbisyo at pagpapaunlad ng buhay ng kani-kanilang mga nasasakupan. Sa pamamagitan ng full devolution at sa pagtutulungan ng national government agencies at ng mga local government units, anumang serbisyo ay mas mapapadali at mas mabilis nang makararating sa ating mga kababayan.
Basao Mountain Province. For decades, the residents of Barangay Ambagyo in Basao Mountain Province live with the daily burden of a rocky, slippery road that cut them off from opportunity. The road connecting their farms to market was steep, often muddy, and nearly impassable during the rainy season. In the first quarter of 2025, the funding support of the FY 2024 Local Government Support Fund, Support to Barangay Development Program, the upgrading of Farm to Market Road in Barangay Ambagyo project was implemented. Construction began in January 2025 and was completed in March 2025, delivering a new infrastructure road for the barangay. According to some residents, during the rainy season, the road was almost impossible to pass. Vehicle would skid, putting passengers at risk, and vehicles had to be pulled out after getting stuck. Recalled Punong Barangay Jan and Tia.
Mas manual magulod. Kalimat na sa may experience ka na, wala na maisayad ng lugan. Asay pa na imbagan na capital city kagis, kas kada titi, buwan, makarit na po na panan kapsiditi kay tugay katipmin, tatakasin natin pugaway, tunggal panapudan, talos, pagap-gap-gap-gapuran, and tapo.
So these testaments show the poor condition of the road, which affected the residents' livelihood and transportation. On the other hand, after 3 months of construction of the new road, the residents immediately saw the benefits to them.
Benefit ng kalsada na masapul domingo ay umira sa malalarang ng units, malalada na magranit, almost ay lunes ay mandiayda. Sambutin tadaanan na si 5 minutes. Baka 1 minute lang ay mababa ng oras ay mandaan. Plus kaya nantukan ay lugan at or ay nabababa, maigip na isang maisay-sayad, natulimot na isang may experience ka na, wala na maisayad ng lugan, asay pa na imbagan na capital city galis, kas kada titi, buwan, makarelax tayo na luan nihihikan.
Residents report that the road upgrade has led to faster, safer, and more cost-efficient transportation. Farmers can now transport larger quantities of produce in fewer trips, significantly reducing hauling costs and enabling them to meet market demand more effectively.
So kasi yan gumagagat kami matas na barangay, kakuas na damang pa improvement, pakanat kagnan tilapia, ang kami awitin ng tilapia ay mang i-deliver at kiniway, narigat na niya. Waniwada ng lugan, nalaklakan ng transportation. Okay.
Beyond economic benefits, the project has revived the tradition of galatis, a traditional bayanihan practice where local volunteers their time and effort for the common good. residents have become more involved in maintaining the road, recognizing its impact on their daily lives and livelihood. The road project, modest in length but grand in impact, stands as a testament to what can be achieved when government support reaches the grassroots. For a small barangay tucked in the mountains, it represents not just concrete and gravel, but connection, dignity, and hope. While the upgraded road still awaits full pavement, for this highland barangay, it already symbolizes a shift from hardship to hope.
On behalf of the community, pil nilo unay nga dakkel nga yaman. Ipay karo-karo dati pisto ken dati mga sumurong nga pundo sapay kumatok kumagpaiso. Babayan iti tulong ti different agencies.
From hardship to hope, Barangay Ambagyo's road to progress has begun, one paved meter at a time.
Pinagtibay ng desisyon ng Korte Suprema sa petisyon ng Mandanas Garcia ang kahalagahan ng pagpapalakas ng ating mga local government units o LGUs. Ayon sa desisyong ito, simula sa taong 2022 ay mabibigyan ng karampatang alokasyon ang mga LGUs sa nakolektang mga buwis upang makapagpatupad ng mga pangunahing serbisyo ng gobyerno. Kasama na rito ang mga serbisyong pangkalusugan, infrastruktura, edukasyon, social services at iba pa. Layunin ng pagbabagong ito na malutas ang matagal ng problema sa duplication and delineation ng mga serbisyo ng national at local governments. At para na rin pagtuunan ng atensyon ang mas maayos at epektibong implementasyon. Ang implementasyon ng Supreme Court decision ay nagtatakda ng bagong yugto para sa inaasam na full devolution. Ang karagdagang pondo para sa LGUs ay magagamit upang maging mas maayos ang pasilidad at infrastruktura at mapabuti pa ang serbisyo sa kanilang mga lokalidad. Marahil ay tinatanong ninyo kung ano na ang ginagawa para maipatupad ito. Base sa Executive Order No. 138, full devolution of certain functions of the executive branch to local governments, creation of a committee on devolution, and for other purposes. Binigyan ng 3 taon ang LGUs at ang national government upang ganap na mailipat ang mga programa ukol sa devolved functions sa mga LGUs. Ito ay mula 2022 hanggang 2024. Para sa maayos na transition, ay nagsisimula ng maganda ang buong pamahalaan simula pa lang noong 2021. Nagsimula ito sa paglabas ng Executive Order No. 138. Dito ay binuo ang Committee on Devolution at nakasaad ang mga mekanismo para sa operationalization ng mga tinatawag na Devolution Transition Plans o DTP para sa national at mga LGUs. Ang mga DTP ang magsisilbing pamunahing gabay ng iba't ibang sakay ng national government pati na ng mga LGUs sa pag-transition patungo sa full devolution. Ang Devolution Transition Plans ay ang mga sistema, estratehiya at mekanismo ng mga ahensya ng national government na gumagabay sa mga LGUs sa kanilang implementasyon ng mga programa na kabilang sa desentralisasyon. Sa DTP ng mga LGUs naman, nakasaad ang tatag ng unti-unting pangunguna ng mga LGUs sa pagbibigay serbisyo base sa kanilang kakayahan at prioridad, kaakibat ang mga ahensya ng pamahalaan. Nakasaad din dito ang mga pamantayan ng mga serbisyo at ang mga mekanismo ng monitoring and evaluation na naaayon sa nabanggit ng mga pamantayan mula sa national government. Simula sa 2022, matatanggap na ng mga LGUs ang dagdag na resources. Kasabay nito ang kanilang pangunguna sa pagbibigay ng pangunahing serbisyo sa kanilang mga constituents ayon sa nakasaad sa mga DPPs ng national government at ng mga LGUs. Dito ay nakatuon ang atensyon ng national government sa paggabay sa pamamagitan ng mga capacity building programs ng iba't ibang ahensya ng pamahalaan. Para naman sa mga developmental challenge ng mga LGUs, ay may dagdag suporta ang national government sa pamamagitan ng Growth Equity Fund o GEF. At kaugnay ng eleksyon at mga bagong mandato, kailangan ay kasama sa pagbabalangkas ng local development plans, investment programs at mga budget ng LGUs, ang mga programang lokal ang implementasyon ng mga pangunahing serbisyo na nakasaad sa DDPs ng mga LGUs. Sa 2023, kapareho ang inaasahan natin ang patuloy ang transition sa pangunguna ng mga LGUs sa basic services delivery alinsunod sa kanilang DTPs. Ngunit dahil sa epekto ng COVID-19 pandemic sa pagkolekta ng buwis, inaasahan ang pagbaba sa alokasyon ng NTA o National Tax Allotment ng mga LGUs. Ito ay dahil sa pagsasara ng mga industriya, limitasyon sa pag-usad ng mga negosyo, at pagkawala ng trabaho na nagresulta sa mababang koleksyon ng buwis ng pamahalaan. Inaasahan ang pagpupursigi ng mga LGUs na muling buhayin at mapalago ang lokal na ekonomiya at maging mabisa ang koleksyon ng local taxes upang mapunan ang pagbaba ng kanilang NTA. Sa huling taon ng transition sa taong 2024, inaasahang makukumpleto na ng national government ang paglilipat ng mga devolved functions and services at sa mga LGUs. Ito ay sa pamamagitan ng mga gabay, mga pulisiya, capacity building and coaching interventions at mga tulong pinansyal ng mga ahensya. Kasabay nito ang pagpapalakas ng pagkakaugnay ng local planning, investment programming at budgeting, pagsasaayos ng performance monitoring and evaluation system, at pagpapalakas sa mga local governance partners, ang mga CSOs, POs, and development partners. Habang natutuunan na ng pansin ng national government ang paggawa ng mga polisiya at oversight functions, sinisigurado rin na mapapalakas ang mga kakayahan ng mga LGUs sa pamamagitan ng capacity development agenda at sa mga DTPs ng iba't ibang mga ahensya. At bilang magkaakibat sa pagtugtad ang mga national government pati na ang mga LGUs ay maraming mga programa at capacity building efforts ang naisasagawa. Ito ay sa tulong ng mga government learning institutions upang mapagtibay ang kakayahan at maging handa sa full devolution. Bukod pa sa tulong na ibinigay ng national government, ay inaanyayahan ang mga LGUs na palakasin ang ugnayan sa mga civil society organizations o CSO sa private sector, pati na rin sa mga development sector partners. May mga institusyon na inatasan upang maging maayos ang implementasyon ng SC ruling. Una ay ang Committee on Devolution upang manguna sa pagbibigay gabay sa kabuuang implementasyon ng dagdag pondo at devolution ng mga serbisyo lokal. Ito ay binubuo ng mga opisyal ng DBM, DILG, Office of the Executive Secretary, DOF, NEDA at ng mga pinuno ng LPP, LCP, LMP, LNP at ULA. Malaking konsiderasyon din para sa mga LGUs ang development planning, investment programming at budgeting bilang mga kritikal na proseso na kinakailangan upang maisaayos ang pagsasagawa ng mga proyekto at programa. Importante rin na mabago ang mga Comprehensive Development Plans o CDPs and Annual Investment Programs o AIPs na dapat ay alinsunod sa mga DPPs ng mga LGUs. Mahalaga rin ang vertical at horizontal linkages ng mga adhikain ng nasyonal, pangrehiyon at lokal na mga prioridad. Malaki rin ang papel na ginagampanan ng mga Regional Development Councils. Sila ang nag-uugnay ng mga local development plans sa Philippine Development Plan para masiguro na naaayon ang mga layuning lokal sa ating pambansang development plan. Patuloy na ang pag-arangkada ng full devolution At sa darating na taong 2025 ay inaasahang ganap na ang kapasidad ng mga local government units. Mas epektibong tugon sa pangangailangan ng mga Pilipino ang ihahatid ng devolution.
Digitalization is the call of today, not the call of the future, but of the present. It is here, it is needed, and it is needed today.
In his 2023 State of the Nation address, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. presented a compelling vision for the Philippines' digital future, positioning digital transformation as an essential pillar of modern governance, economic resilience, and national growth. He stressed that digitalization is no longer a mere option, but an immediate requirement to propel the country toward greater efficiency, transparency, convenience, and better public service. This commitment extends beyond technological advancements. It represents a transformative approach that will enable the Philippines to thrive competitively on the global stage while fostering a transparent, accessible, and future-ready governance model. Introducing the Local Government Unit Support System, LGUSS, empowering local governments, better service for the people. The LGUSS is a collection of information systems aimed to augment the day-to-day operations of cities, municipalities, and barangays. By converting manual processes with digitalized and automated ones,
A pleasant afternoon to our esteemed guests. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat and welcome to the City of Pines, Baguio City. No? At the moment, we encourage everyone to ensure our attendance po. Please proceed to the registration table just outside our hall. The Secretariat will be there to assist you, and also the table for our billeting for the checking in is just outside the hall. Kindly bring one ID per room and approach our hotel staff. Thank you very much, and we'll start in a few minutes. Once again, kindly ensure our registration. And for our checking in, you may approach our hotel staff just outside the hall. Kindly bring one ID po per room. Thank you. Good afternoon once again. After you have checked in, please be here on the venue po before we start our program exactly 3:30 p.m. Again, after you have checked in, just quickly go here in on the hall po so we could start our program by 3:30 p.m. Thank you. Good afternoon. We are about to start our program. May we request everyone to call on our colleagues and encourage them to be here at the hall. We are about to start our program. Good afternoon. Muli, magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Are we ready? All right. Before we begin our program, and to ensure our safety, please direct our attention to the screen for the safety briefing.
Welcome, and thank you for choosing Newtown Plaza Hotel. You are now at Newtown Convention Center, Eagle Hall. Here is an overview of our emergency evacuation plan. In case of emergency scenarios, please don't panic and proceed to the nearest egress. From your venue to the main staircase, then to the main lobby and out of the hall going to our triage area. We are also providing you with emergency hotline numbers and the route map to the nearest medical facility, the Notre Dame de Chartres Hospital and SLU Sacred Heart Hospital. Your safety is our concern. Thank you and God bless.
All right po, requesting everyone to please come here po in front. We may take the tables po ng mga participants na wala pa po at the moment. Dito po tayo sa unahan, no? Let's encourage everyone to be here. And attention to the hotel staff po, no, who will be presenting the house rules. Please be here on the side of the stage. But right now, we'd like to acknowledge the presence of DC Leia Marie Sanchez, Chief of the Research and Policy Division. Welcome po, ma'am. Nasaan po si ma'am? All right. Also acknowledging Miss Iris A. Igrobay, LGA Officer. Personal po natin from the Local Government Academy. Nasaan po si Miss Iris? Nasa labas po. Acknowledging the presence of Miss Iris. Again, attention to Mr. Ru Kalika for the house rules. All right, again, welcome po sa ating lahat po, no? It seems like people are coming in. Welcome po sa ating lahat. And as mentioned po, as we have seen po dun sa ating video kanina, that's for our safety po, no? So that we will be able to know where we will go kung meron man pong mga worst case scenario. But we hope everyone will enjoy and will proceed. We can have our house rules later on. Once again, good afternoon. I am CJ De Vera from the DILG CAR Regional Office. And to start our official program for today, we kindly request everyone to please stand for the invocation, to be followed by the singing of the Pilipinas Kong Mahal, and lastly, paying tribute to our region through the Cordillera Hymn.
Salamat po, o dakilang may lalang, sa mga gabing mahimbing kami sa pagtulog sa mapayapang tanglaw ng mga tala at buwan. Salamat po sa aming bawat paggising sa umaga na sinasalubong kami ng masiglang sikat ng araw. Walang kasing sarap ang mabuhay at walang kasing saya ang makapiling ang mga mahal namin sa buhay. Kung ito man po ang bigay ninyong inspirasyon upang mapalaganap namin ang pagmamahal sa aming sarili, sa kapwa, sa kapaligiran, at sa aming bayan, tinatanggap po namin ang hamon na mag-alay naman ng paglilingkod para sa pangkalahatang kapakanan. Alam namin na ito ang wastong kapalit ng pang-araw-araw ninyong biyaya sa buong sangkatauhan. Lahat kami ay hinahayaan po ninyong dumaan sa paglalakbay ng aming mga buhay na may tungkulin namang mag-iwan ng bakas na kapaki-pakinabang sa aming bawat hakbang. Ipinalalasap din po ninyo sa amin ang masaganang biyaya ng kalikasan sa pamamagitan ng mahabagin ninyong kalooban. Naway maging katanggap-tanggap kami sa oras na kami ay hihimlay naman sa kandungan ng kalikasang binabasbasan ninyo na aming pangalagaan. Sumainyo ang luwalhati ng kataas-taasan. Kataas-taasang hinahangad naming naway maging kasing taas ng aming pag-abot sa hangarin na magkaroon ang aming bayan ng pagkakaisa, pag-unlad, at pangmatagalang kapayapaan.
Pilipinas kong mahal, ang puso ko at buhay man sa iyo'y ibibigay. Tungkulin kong nagampanan na lagi kang paglingkuran. Ang laya mo'y babantayan, Pilipinas kong mahal. Ang bayan ko'y tanging ikaw, Pilipinas kong mahal, ang puso ko at buhay man sa iyo'y ibibigay. Tungkulin kong nagampanan na lagi kang paglingkuran. Ang laya mo'y babantayan, Pilipinas kong cradled by majestic mountains, blessed with nature's flowing fountains, blooming flowers and verdant hills, is a region of murmuring winds. Here dwell freedom-loving people, strong or one, it's hard to topple. For freedom we rise and fight, our prize
us now be seated. This whole month of October po is vital for all of us as we celebrate the Local Government Month with its theme this year, Transforming Governance, Empowering Futures. And today, we will highlight the festivity focusing on capability development, activities, and the much-awaited commemoration of all of our efforts through the awarding of exemplary local government units po ng bawat probinsya, munisipyo, at ng city po dito sa ating region. To further emphasize the essence of our presence on this very day, and to give us his warm welcome remarks, may we call on our beloved DILG Core Regional Director, Attorney Anthony C. Nuida, Session 3. A warm applause, please.
Maraming salamat, Rene. Si Jay pala. Nabalik na. Isang payapa at masiglang araw po sa ating lahat. Sa lahat ng bisita and participants joining us in the next few days. Kasama po natin ang ating mga local chief executives and their representatives from the 83 provinces and cities and municipalities across the Cordillera region. Yung iba po nasa biyahe pa. And I would like to acknowledge Mayor Fernando Semanero Jr. of Salapadan, Abra. Nandito po ba si Mayor? Mayor Julius M. Amos of Bugyas, Benguet. Mayor. Mayor Alfredo B. Dacumus Jr. of Sablan, Benguet. Mayor Mariano Buyagawon Jr. of Lamot, Ifugao. Yes, Mayor. And also we have Mayor J.D. Rose P. Dagadag of Tanudan, Kalinga. Thank you po for joining us this afternoon. Our ever hardworking DILG field officers, headed by our provincial directors and city director. Kompleto po tayo. We have PD Mayor Adog of Kalinga. Ay, Apayaw. PD Anton of Kalinga. PD Daisy of Mountain Province. PD Reds of Benguet. Sino pa? PD Chris of Abra. PD Marlene of Ifugao, CD Beng of Baguio City, and may nakakalimutan ba ako? Wala na. At ang ating mga cluster leaders, cluster heads, and program managers, all our MLGOs, our colleagues also from the regional office, we have ARD, Robert Maribay, sa inyo po lahat, naimbag nga malim kada kayo amin apo. And welcome to the first day of our 34th Local Government Month celebration here in the Cordilleras. These are the culminating activities for the Local Government Month. This celebration coincides with the annual conduct of the Philippine Local Governance Forum, or PLGF. This is a platform for showcasing governance excellence, knowledge sharing, and advocating the replication of best practices among LGUs. We at the DILG CAR are honored to have all our distinguished local leaders join us in celebrating the LG Month as a truly an opportune time to honor what we have so far gained within the wide breadth of local autonomy, lalo na we carry the FG's theme, Transforming Governance and Empowering Futures. Before anything else, I am proud to share that because of our collaboration, the DILG through the Local Government Academy has considered our culminating activity that touches on CBMS, infrastructure governance, decentralization and performance assessment as the highlight of this year's Philippine Local Governance Forum, Luzon Island Circuit. So kasama po ito sa napili ng LGA. We will be representing the Luzon Circuit starting tomorrow. So I will be joined by LGA officials tomorrow and some of our central office directors and of course USIC Marlo Eringan will be joining us also by tomorrow, if not tomorrow, on the third day. So again, 34 years since its passing into law, the Local Government Code has since become one of the cornerstones and ultimate drivers of local development. It has produced many successes through the creativity and ingenuity of our LGUs, all in the pursuit of redefining what it means to provide and to serve the Filipino people. The Cordilleras is no exception to this narrative, as we have witnessed several breakthroughs and victories right at the heart of this landlocked region. This is evidenced by the improved performance of local government units across performance assessments and audits, by the stronger local, national, international partnerships, and by the countless recognition conferred by reputable bodies, among many others. Indeed, we have successfully upheld the vision programmed by the framers of the Local Government Code, for it to become an instrument in advancing devolution and local autonomy in the region. However, while the LGC has brought about many gains, we also recognize that it is not a cure-all, it is not omnipotent, and more importantly, it is not completely perfect. For over 3 decades, we have been witnesses to unprecedented changes in the local governance landscape. These changes have disrupted and shaken the very foundation of local governance as we know it. It has prompted our leaders to step up and shape up, and it has indeed reminded us of how important it is to be able to adapt to the ever-changing and ever-evolving world. Despite the constant challenges, we have risen above adversity. Pinatunayan natin na sa lakas ng lokal, kaya nating lampasan ang anumang unos ng buong lakas at buong tapang. We believe that we were able to overcome those challenges because we have remained faithful to our mandate to serve. Na isabuhay ang ating pananampalataya na magsilbi ng buong puso para sa bayan. In other words, we have remained focused on our purpose to be faithful to our constituents who are the reason for our very existence. That is why we wish to impress upon all our leaders here today that in celebrating the Local Government Month every October, the spotlight must be on our people, whom we are directed and compelled to serve. Thus, in every action and decision we make, the interest and welfare of our constituents must always take precedence. Should we find ourselves in a difficult situation in our LGUs, dapat at babalik pa rin tayo sa punot dulo ng lahat, ang ating mamamayan, ang ating mga kapwa Filipino. In the end, it is our constituents, our people, who are the ultimate beneficiary of decentralization and local autonomy. Kaya naman, lagi naming pinaalahanan ng ating mga lokal na opisyal na patuloy na isulong at pagtibayin ang good local governance, commitment to accountability, transparency, civic participation, and most importantly, integrity. This must be part of our DNA, an indelible part of our fingerprint as public servants. On this note, sa ngalan po ng buong Cordillera, DILG Cordillera, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to our 34th Local Government Month celebration. At sama-sama po natin itaguyod ang matatag, maginhawa at panatag na buhay para sa lahat. Matago-tago, tako amin, iyaman.
Ayan, RD. Alam ko pong na-miss niyo po si Sir Rene as our in-house host. Don't worry po, because we will get to hear from him later on. But RD, thank you for that heartwarming message, no? And for sharing to us the power of collaboration in implementing our programs, projects, and activities in navigating in this VUCA world po towards a transformed governance and preferred future for our communities and for the Cordillera. Ito rin po ang isa pa sa mga exciting part po, no, para sa ating lahat. Hindi ko na po isa-isahin lahat ng ating mga PDs, pero let's check in from our PDs, local chief executives, our cluster heads, program managers. Nasaan po ang mga taga DILG Baguio City? Ayan, of course, headed by si Dibeng. Yun. Nasa naman po ang mga taga Abra. Wow! Thank you po, headed by PD Chris. Ang mga taga Apayao with PD Mayor. Yan. Nasaan po ang mga taga Ifugao with PD Marlin? Ang dami. Ang mga taga Kalinga po, nasaan po tayo? With PD Daisy. Ayan. Ang mga taga... Eto, favorite ko din po ito. Mga taga Benguet, headed by Ma'am Regina. And from Mountain Province, I'm so sorry po. From Mountain Province, we have PD Daisy. And from Ifugao, we have PD Anthony Balog. Ayan. I'm so sorry. Pardon po ha. I request your... from Kalinga. Yun. PD Anthony Balog. Sir. And of course, from the DILG car, we have RD Anthony Noida, si ARD Rupert, of course, our Chief Administrative Officer and the Division Chief po ng ating FAD, si Ma'am Shirley Mon. Nasaan po si Ma'am? Sa likod. Welcome po. We also have our Attorney Attorney Genevieve Shontogan. Ayan, nasa likod din po. Of course, our Division Chief ng LG Med, si Ma'am Mary Jane Abance. And of course, our Division Chief from LGCDD, Sir Klein P. Chunanon. Yan, welcome po. Of course, we would like to acknowledge the Mayor of Corner, Apayao, Attorney Zorico Favor Bayawa. Yan, welcome po, sir, no? And again, welcome to everyone to our 34th Local Government Month, which we celebrate every October. And this year, we are celebrating with the theme, Transforming Governance, Empowering Futures. And the theme highlights po our role in shaping the best future for our communities, and that relies on our hands and on the decisions we will make today. Nasa atin po ito. We have the power and the positive actions that we will implore will definitely equate to a positive future for us and for the generation to come. And I hope excited po ang lahat because throughout the week, ito pong buong October 21 hanggang 24 po, no? We will be refreshed by our prepared activities for everybody and update our skills and knowledge so we will be empowered. And of course, we will be honored to award our excellent LGUs po dito sa Cordillera. And we also would like to acknowledge once again DC Leia Marie Sanchez, Chief of the Research and Policy Division. Welcome po, ma'am. And of course, from the Local Government Academy, we have Ms. Iris A. Igrobay. Welcome po, ma'am. Now, to kick off our learning sessions, we will dive into a very timely and relevant topic po, no, para sa ating lahat. The Open Government Partnership Localization Program. And this session will discuss our collective efforts in localizing EO number 31 of 2023. Bagong-bago po ito, no? The institutionalization of the Philippine Open Government Partnership and for other purposes. At i-discuss rin po ang other OGP-related initiatives. And to lead this discussion, please welcome our DILG CAR Development Management Officer 4, Mr. Rene Joshua M. Verdote. A round of applause, please.
Ayan, maraming salamat, Sir CJ. Palakpakan naman natin si CJ, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir, for opening ang ating LG Month celebration ngayong linggo. And one of the topics po, no, before we begin po pala, we would also like to acknowledge po, magandang hapon po sa ating mga municipal planning and development coordinators, our MPDCs who are joining us this afternoon. Palakpakan naman po natin, ladies and gentlemen, our MPDCs. Magandang hapon po and thank you for joining us this afternoon. Ayan po, no? So tulad na banggit po ni Sir CJ, no, the Open Government Partnership or our topic ngayong hapon is probably one of the most timely and relevant discussions na mayroon tayo, especially in the local governance landscape. Sa mga problemang kinakaharap, sa mga issues that our governments are embroiled po, no? Paano nga ba natin makukuha ang tiwala and the faith, maintaining the faith of our constituents in our institutions? Minsan palaisipan kasi yan, no? How do we really enjoin our citizens to believe in our programs, to believe in our local leaders, aside from the promises that they have provided during the campaign period, di po ba? Ngayon po, nakikita natin when we open social media, when we listen to the news, ang tiwala talaga ng tao sa ating mga LGUs, it's now dubious, no? Questionable. Nagdududa sila sa bawat galaw ng ating LGU. We are scrutinized. We are under the lens na talagang magnified lahat ng ginagawa natin. But based on international case studies, ladies and gentlemen, one way of rebuilding po, no, or even protecting or maintaining the trusts of our constituents in our LGUs is by creating open, democratic, and participatory spaces. When you look at our case studies all over the world, cases on corruption, cases of distrust, these were now addressed because local leaders have taken a stand to establish or even strengthen participatory mechanisms or programs po natin. But bago po tayo magsimula, no, meron po tayong gustong i-share sa lahat. In one international conference, a speaker mentioned that the world is facing a current phenomenon that they called diminishing democracy. Diminishing democracy, ang tawag po nila dito. Ano ibig sabihin, no? When we hear that term, they are observing that local governments are now shrinking civic spaces. Pakunti ng pakunti daw po ang avenues for participation ng citizens dahil ano nangyayari? Hindi po ito suportado ng ating local leaders and even our elected officials. And when we have a shrinking democracy, kulang po ang ating boses ng mamamayan. The democracy as we know it, hindi po natin naisasabuhay. Here in the Philippines, we are very thankful and we are very privileged that we are one of the steering committees of the Philippine Open Government Partnership. Ito po sana ang gusto nating i-advocate, no? Because the time is now talaga that we really actualize, that we really now set into motion or actual actions what it means to be a democracy. Di po ba? All right. So, next slide lang po natin. Okay. Ano nga ba ibig sabihin ng open government before anything else? Pag iniisip kasi natin, open government, bukas, di po ba? Meaning it's accessible. Ang mga munisipyo natin, di ba? Accessible yan. The very humble unit ng barangay hall natin, dapat nananatiling bukas. But the concept of open government, ladies and gentlemen, it's an expansion of democracy where now citizens have the right, may karapatan, to access governmental proceedings and provide public oversight. Diba? Sa very essence ng demokrasya, ang tao, hindi lamang siya observer, hindi lamang tayo nakikitingin, nakikinig, but we are active participants of the entire local public administration cycle. Ano po ba ang reality natin? Even our CSO representatives, yung mga barangay assemblies nila, ang feeling ng ating mga mamamayan, makikinig lamang sila. They are mere now observers of what our elected officials are doing. But hindi na-empower ang karapatan na makibahagi sa pagpaplano, sa pagsusubaybay at pagsusuri ng mga programa natin sa ating LGU. That's why open government really now is an instrument to actualize or articulate the democratic rights of our citizens to participate from planning, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation aside from their democratic right to vote. Diba? Sa ibang bansa po kasi, when you take a look at other international countries, their right ends after they cast their votes. But we have now the legal framework. We now have this particular, let's say, support. The Constitution from its very essence po, no, has provided the legal framework for citizen participation in local governance. However, bago po tayo magsimula, no, tatandaan po natin, ang open government, hindi lang po siya trend. Di ba? Mamaya iniisip natin, we want to jump on the bandwagon dahil lahat, they're moving towards open government. It's not just a buzzword, ladies and gentlemen, but it is about building trust. Building trust amongst who? Our local leaders, our LGUs, and our citizens. Di ba? Ang buong tiwala nila sa ating lokal na pamahalaan. So the PHOGP, we would like to move towards a unified, empowered, and ready regional network na hindi lamang at the national level, but hanggang po no, sa mga cities, municipalities, and even our barangays. The essence and the spirit of open government must always be embedded in our policies. Tandaan natin, especially for our local chief executives, for our field officers, LGU na yan. It's your LGU, it's your leadership, and what type of legacy do we want to leave kapag tayo po ay gagraduate, kapag tayo ay mag-move to our next elected officials, but rather what is the legacy of open government that we wish to impress from our constituents. But ang tanong, handa po ba tayo? Ayan, tanungin niyo po yung mga kasama niyo sa katabi niyo. Handa ba tayo na talagang tanggapin at buksan ang ating LGU to really embrace open government? So our discussion for this afternoon will now give us the background kung ano nga ba ang OGP, what are we moving towards, para saan ba ito at para kanino, di ba? Minsan kasi pag dinidiscuss natin yung OGP, ano ba yan? Ano ba ang benefits namin? What will we gain from this, di ba? But there is now, should be a deeper understanding kung papaano nga ba ino-operationalize ng Pilipinas ang open government partnership from the national level, from the steering committee, bumababa sa mga national government agencies natin, at syempre, ang sabi ni REDECON kanina, di ba, that the constituents are the end, the ultimate beneficiaries of decentralization and local autonomy. Ano pa dapat ang ginagawa natin para masuportahan sila? Okay? So let's just have a brief historical background. I'm sure, sino po dito, can I have a raise of hands? Sino dito ang first time makarinig ng OGP? Sino ang unang nakarinig? Ayan, may mga iba. Sino dito ang may deep understanding about it, di ba? Minsan kasi kulang tayo sa pag-appreciate on this. Because again, there should be now adequate capability building na hopefully talaga, no, sa after nito, maikascade natin ito to all our LGU officials and functionaries para ma-appreciate talaga natin what it means to be an open government, okay? So the Open Government Partnership, it is a global effort of national and sub-national governments po natin that now has committed to have partners with non-government stakeholders to promote the very foundation and tenets of good local governance, transparency, the fight against corruption, and harnessing now technologies to exact accountability sa ating mga local leaders. So the Open Government Partnership was founded in 2011 by government leaders and civil society advocates. What you're seeing on screen are the founding members of the OGP. Andyan po ang ating former President, Noynoy Aquino, and US President Barack Obama. Tayo po sa Pilipinas, tayo pa po ang isa sa mga founding members ng OGP, di ba? Which now gives us deeper pressure sana, no, na out of all the countries in the world, ang Pilipinas ay isa po sa mga founding members natin. Di ba? So that would mean, or that should entail, that all our local government units should follow suit in implementing now open government practices across its cycles and processes. The vision of the open government participation, ladies and gentlemen, is open governments working in partnership with civil society. Civil society defined as our citizens, defined as organizations of its many kinds and many faces, and people to strengthen democracy and deliver better societal outcomes, improved quality of life for all, di ba? If there is no corruption, there are better services for the people. There are better programs, there are better projects that would support the overall well-being of our constituents. But our mission, those of us who are operationalizing the tenets of open government, we are to inspire, connect, and enable an ever-growing community of reformers and champions of government and civil society to take action. The key word is together. One of the more important elements of OGP, ladies and gentlemen, is that meron tayong network of NGO or non-government partners. It's not just the government who is working or advocating for it, but we are now materializing or even pinapakatawanan natin yon by having now partners from our sectoral groups, from our non-government agencies. We also have our unions, iba't ibang mukha po yan, di ba? When we define what is a civil society organization, iba't ibang mukha, iba't ibang advocacy, but what do they have in common? Pareho po tayo sa LGU. We want improved quality of life for all. Papangalagaan natin ang general welfare of those who we are compelled to serve. Now, ito po yung nabanggit ko po sa inyo, no, na founding member ang Philippines, the 11 countries who founded the Open Government Partnership in 2011. And this is now operationalized because of the PHOGP Steering Committee. At ano po ang sinusundan natin? We have an annual, or I believe it's a 5-year plan. It's the National Action Plan, or yung NAP na tinatawag po natin. Currently, the Philippines is on its 6th National Action Plan. This mirrors now the priority thrusts in the Philippine Development Plan, kung saan meron po tayo doon under Chapter 14 of the Philippine Development Plan that pushes for deeper participation in local governance. Na-outline sa PDP yung mga strategies natin, what are the deliverables, mainly by the DBM and the DILG, on how we can strengthen. But more than that, hindi lang po strengthening. How do we make participation more meaningful for our citizens? So when we say more meaningful, mas makabuluhan. Hindi siya tokenistic na for compliance lang, but rather there is now impact. There is now relevance, and they have greater influence than they already wield. Okay? So the OPGP is built upon these three core values. Ito po ang tatandaan natin. If we wish to be a mover of an open government, we have to be transparent. There must be strong citizen participation. And more than that, there are mechanisms that are established to exact public accountability. Kung iisa-isahin po talaga natin ito, it really puts now the LGU in a unique position that our citizens are able to look inside, to look through us, di ba? When we talk about it, local governments should not be opaque sa science. Kapag opaque, hindi pwedeng dumaan ang ilaw. But the opposite of opaque is transparent, meaning people are able to see our dealings. They are able to see what are the operations within the LGU, and more than that, they have people that they can run to exact accountability. There are measures, programs that would get their leaders accountable for whatever the results are of their programs and service delivery. When we take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen, transparency is about the freedom of information, the ability of our citizens to gain information about the LGU. Ano ang mga examples po natin ng transparency programs? We have the full disclosure policy, di po ba? Sa simpleng pag-post po natin ng mga procurements and bids natin, that is one way of exacting transparency. In other countries, ano po ang mga programang in-implement nila? They have now the public spending dashboard. It's an online dashboard kung saan nakikita po nila kung paano ginagastos in real time ang pera ng local governments, di ba? But when we say transparency, we do not keep information. They are posted. They are in the loop about information that they have the right to access and that they have the right to know. Diba? Second, citizen participation. We have a very robust framework for participation. Sa local government code natin, we have the local special bodies. We have other barangay-based institutions at the very heart of our barangays that really support the advocacy of our LGUs on various sectors and concerns. Citizen participation, marami rin po yan. Kapag sa BAC, di ba? Doon sa New Government Procurement Act, there should be a representative from the CSO to observe kung paano po ang mga bids and award committee meetings po natin, di ba? And more than just simply observers of our BAC, pwede po silang mag-submit ng feedback or report nila if they are able to flag or they are able to observe certain, let's say, anomalies or parang something that shouldn't be normal doon sa operations ng BAC. They have also now the mechanism to do so. But more importantly, public accountability, di ba? Lagi natin sinasabi, sino ang may pananagutan? Who has the accountability? Who is answerable? Di ba? Is it our local leaders? Do we have mechanisms to address our grievances? But more than that, our leaders must be able to face the consequences, to face the people, and to take ownership over their processes, the results, whatever it may be. So ang ganda ng essence ng open government partnership. It's a government na walang tinatago. It's a government that welcomes people from all walks of life to participate, and it is a government that has now accountability, or again, is answerable to the people. These are the very foundations of the open government partnership that we wish now to espouse, na sana sa lahat ng local government units natin, they are able to create their own programs and mechanisms that advance these three core values of the OGP. But what is something unique about the open government partnership is that there is premium on innovation and technology. Diba? Yung mga na-discuss ko po sa inyo kanina, they are creating their own systems that would create stronger public accountability, participation, and transparency. Alam niyo po ba, in Africa, meron po silang pwedeng bumoto sa mga programa ng LGU through text. Public polling on policy. Diba? Ang ganda noon. Kung ang Senate, ang Congress natin, pwede tayong mag-text para bumoto, that's something we can do. Public accountability, nakita nilang may mga kalsada in Congo. Because they had strong reporting on project implementation, their revenue collection increased by 16%. Diba? If people are seeing now the fruits of these programs through technology and innovation, we can reach more people and we can capitalize on technology to really advance our advocacy for people to understand our LGU and to see what are we doing to build trust, diba? Tiwala in our institutions. The Philippines, again, we have the Open Government Declaration upon joining the partnership. Dinedeclare natin that we are ready, that we really want to do it. Ang pangit kasi kung pinipilit natin yung mga LGUs natin, di po ba, na maging open ka. But the Open Government Declaration, again, the Philippines in itself was very much open and willing to accept it. And we really wish our LGUs would have the same gusto, would have the same enthusiasm about open government. So the OGP model, ladies and gentlemen, looks at three things. Dialogue, meaning there is again consultations. There are series of dialogues with our constituents. Action, the implementation of these actual programs we have designed. But what do we learn from the implementation, diba? We gather data. We gather feedback. Ano yung mga gaps? Ano yung mga opportunities? What did we do that we can improve? Or what were the challenges that hampered our ability to exact accountability, transparency, and inclusion within our LGUs? But there is now creating spaces for dialogue. Diba? Sabi natin kanina, natatakot ba tayong makiusap with our local leaders? Sa social media lang ba tayo maingay? But when we have the official platform, are we ready? Do we provide these spaces? Do we protect it? Pinapahalagahan ba natin ito? Okay? The Philippines, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. issued Executive Order number 31, which institutionalized the OGP at all levels of government, diba? From the executive, the legislative, to the judiciary, and even, especially, in our local government units, there must be mechanisms for stronger accountability, transparency, and participation. Pero meron po tayong tinatawag na steering committee, na sana kayo din sa mga LGUs nyo magkakaroon po tayo. Executive Order 31 recognizes that the Philippines is a trailblazer in promoting these particular values po natin. But more than that, it enjoins our LGUs to employ innovations for accountability and transparency. Diba? So tayo sa LGUs natin, what were the programs? Kaya si DILG, it undertook yung documentation program natin to see what were the innovations of our local governments to really push and advocate for OGP. But the PH Steering Committee, ladies and gentlemen, it has equal power sharing. Ito po ang sinasabi natin kanina, na the government does not monopolize the open governance processes, but rather there are other stakeholders who are involved. Sino ang mga miyembro ng National Steering Committee natin? The Executive Secretary, the CAPDEV, formerly NEDA, the Department of the Interior and Local Government, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, DSWD, and we have 4 government sector representatives, yung ULAP chairperson, and 10 CSO representatives. Ito po yung mga miyembro natin at the national level. No? Aside from the government areas po natin, there are now equal representation from the major island groups. Sa Luzon, we have the Legal Network for Truthful Elections. For Visayas, Central Visayas Network of NGOs. And for Mindanao, we have the Mahintana Foundation. If you take a look now at the member CSOs at the national level, very diverse po ang ating group. We have one from the academe, ang LaSalle Institute of Governance, Justice Sector, Citizens Watch for Good Governance. We have environment and climate representatives, business, co-chair, women's sector, Malayang Lapian ng Kababaihan Incorporated. Again, it highlights that open government is diverse and inclusive. Hindi pwedeng isang sector lang ang nire-represent natin. Lahat kunin natin sa business sector. Lahat kunin natin sa agriculture sector. But there are equal representation para makita po natin, no, what are the realities of each sector. Sa NAPSI natin, yung mga urban poor natin, migrant workers, those are the sectors we have to look at that can contribute to more responsive planning of our LGUs. So through the leadership of the steering committee, ang chair pala natin, by the way, is the Department of Budget and Management. At the national level, it's the DBM. Okay? The Philippines is recognized as a global leader in open government. Diba? Ang gandang pakinggan. But are we actually doing it? That's the next question. Diba? That's why the OGP local program was introduced. And it has met 4 new members. And where we are, meron po tayong isa from the Cordilleras. There are 4 new members aside from South Cotabato, which is our pioneer member. We have the city of Baguio, Quezon City, Tagbilaran City, and the municipality of Larena in Siquijor. The OGP local program saw now more sub-national governments. We had New York City, Athens in Greece, who have taken the responsibility to push for accountability, transparency, and participation. But these 4 LGUs, ilang munisipyo po tayo sa Pilipinas? Ilang provinces, di ba? 4 lang. So we need more LGUs who would step up and advocate for open government at the local level. The open government, again, good governance and open government are not mutually exclusive. They go hand in hand in driving development, not just in the Philippines, but across Asia and the Pacific. There are so many case studies of successes from our neighboring countries of how setting up mechanisms for transparency and accountability has developed or driven higher trust ratings for our local governments. Mahirap po talagang maglingkod. It's hard now to serve our constituents if their trust is not there. Diba? Yung tiwala nila sa atin. They will always be questioning that there is an underlying tone behind it. But if they know that they are for the people, it can really drive stronger participation across sectors and again, multi-stakeholder collaboration towards one unified goal and objective. So the development of the Open Government Strategy 2030. Ano ba mga gusto nating gawin, no? That the we currently have the 2023-2027 Global Strategy, but we also have to localize that. Hindi pwedeng tanggapin lang natin kung ano yung mga gustong i-espouse ng open government, but rather there is also a need to customize it based on the political context natin, the climate of how accepting we are, and especially the culture and values that are unique to the Philippines. Diba? Ang values ng Thailand, iba sa values ng Pilipinas. More so, if we look at European nations, the values of Scandinavia is different from the values of Asia. Ibang-iba po yan. That's why there is a need now to localize it at the local level to really meet the response, the needs, and how accepting and welcoming we are of these values. Okay? So from community to commitment, diba? Or I should say commitment to community. How are we doing it currently? The DILG, for example, has the Daguao Open Government Town Hall meetings. And for so many years, since 2019, we have created a space for dialogue. Pero medyo malakihan po ito, no? That each regional office will create a town hall meeting to discuss certain matters about government policy and government programs. Walang barrier po dyan. We have our government resource persons and we have our citizens in open dialogue in certain issues or matters po natin. Halimbawa po, last year, ang topic po natin sa Cordillera, it's the state of basic education. We had our DepEd RD, RD Estela Leon Carino, who answered questions from students, from mga taga City High. And what was interesting there, even RD Carino commended it, na nagulat siya sa mga questions ng mga estudyante natin. The students asked for accountability. Tinanong na si RD Carino, asan na po yung mga modules namin? Masikip po ang mga classrooms namin. Nasaan po yung mga learning materials ng matatag curriculum? That's how open it was, di ba? We don't filter the questions, but rather it is now the actual constituents, the actual end users of these programs asking our policymakers. That's how the Daguao works, di ba? Na talagang nakukuha natin ang immediate feedback from those in the know-how and those in authority. So the Daguao po, ladies and gentlemen, it's an issue-based talaga. So magandang example po siya because then again, they got answers. Hindi si teacher ang tatanungin nila, hindi si principal, but it's our regional leaders who are giving responses directly to their concerns and grievances. Tinanong nila ang curriculum. Tinanong nila na bakit ang taas-taas daw ng comprehension, ang English ng Baguio, pero panghuli tayo sa PISA, di ba? Yung mga questions na ganon. They were really curious about the quality of education. And these are high school students asking our regional leaders. That's how we actualize open government, di ba? That's why the simple dialogue, minsan iniisip natin pag nagpatawag tayo sa munisipyo, but the impact it has on the people, on how it creates mutual trust, di ba? Na wala kayong tinatago, hinaharap nyo sila. Transparency, participation, and accountability, all of that are present in a simple dialogue, di ba? So again, from 2019, we have a total of 330,000 participants, 136 town halls from virtual, physical since 2019. It has proven to become one of the policymakers po policy drivers natin. Gumagawa tayo ng mga recommendations based on the discussions of the Daguao. Okay? But ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear, no? Let's be honest. Open government is real when it is felt by communities. Magandang sabihin, we are accountable to the people. Yes, we are transparent. Pasado nga kami sa FDP eh. Di ba? Pasado kami sa FDP. So yes, we are transparent. But the question remains, nararamdaman ba ito ng ating nasasakupan? Di ba? Palaisipan yun. Even if we have good programs, we have specifically designed key performance indicators, nararamdaman ba ito ng regular na mamamayan? That is when open government becomes real. That it's not just promises, it's not just policies, but these are actual things that we see, feel, and do day in and day out. So yun po ang titiyakin natin. We can't just say we are an advocate of open government if we cannot guarantee that it is felt by our people. Okay? So to the PHOGP, through Executive Order number 31, ensures that all departments of government have mechanisms for accountability and transparency. Pero kayo po, sa ating mga LGU, meron ba tayong mga mechanisms for these? Okay? We have proclamation number 916. This was issued in 2025 that the President has declared the third week of May. Ladies and gentlemen, pakinggan natin ito. The third week of May every year as Open Government Week. Ayan. Third week of May, dapat sineselebrate natin, and we are implementing programs to commemorate open governance in our LGUs, di ba? Proclamation 916, so ilagay na ng mga planning officers natin to sa mga kalendaryo ninyo. That third week of May, through a simple program, baka siguro mag-prepare tayo ng simple activity that would really manifest the essence of open governance. Pero anong nangyayari pag Open Gov Week? Ano ang ginagawa dapat natin? Okay? Marami po tayong campaign advocacies dyan. We have the OGP NAS, localizing OGP one region at a time. So baka sa mga LGUs natin, we can conduct this advocacy campaign in partnership with the Department of Budget and Management and the Department of the Interior and Local Government, di ba? Magkaroon tayo ng activities to gather our sectoral representatives, a dialogue with them, a multi-stakeholder approach to a program, di po ba? So we are looking at, from last year, there are 14 regions, 3,000 stakeholders, and there are stronger partnerships between LGU, CSO, and academe. Sa Open Government Week natin, let's look for partners, di ba? Marami tayong LRIs in our localities. What type of programs can we co-develop with our CSOs and our local resource institutes? Baka pwede tayong mag-undertake ng study on their satisfaction of open government, kung nararamdaman ba nila ito. And other now mechanisms to really better understand what is the clamor of our people. Okay? But what should we underscore sa Open Government Week natin? We want to strengthen or reinforce the local open government ecosystem. We want to spotlight success stories. Baka sa inyong mga LGU, meron na tayong strong LGU-CSO partnership that could be worth replication sa ibang LGUs. And more importantly, hindi lang po siya one-time activity. Baka sabihin natin, nag-conduct tayo ng town hall, okay na yon. Once a year lang. But the sustainability of these programs must also be considered. Di po ba? Meaning, there is continuity. Patuloy po natin ginagawa. There is monitoring and evaluation. And there is now improvement in the current status quo within the ecosystem of our LGU na talagang hikayatin ang mga mamamayan na mag-participate sa atin. So, tandaan natin, every third week of May, strengthen, spotlight, and sustain the initiatives we have so far gained with our constituents. Okay, so the core programs, ito lang po yung mga suggestions na pwede nyong gawin. Social media campaign, baka may mga postings tayo sa Facebook. Dialogue with our partners, OGP Talks. Baka may mga segment tayo na naka-live sa ating mga LGU Facebook pages. Story caravans, and of course, highlighting what our LGUs are currently doing. Baka mamaya ang dami nyo na palang ini-implement, but the level of awareness, wala po, di ba? So we can also strengthen advocacy to have more people understand the value of OGP. Okay? So sino ang mga target natin? Hindi lang po ang mga mamamayan natin. Kayo mismo na LGU officials. Our stakeholders outside the market and government, ang non-government po natin, the general public, and more importantly, our civic leaders who can multiply our campaign and voices in advancing open government. Okay? I think this is patapos na po tayo sa discussion natin. Meron tayong OGP localization. This is now one of the newest programs of the DILG to really push for open government at the local level. Pero hindi muna natin i-discuss to, no? Kasi we will be having a separate platform for this. But just to have a teaser para sa ating mga LGUs, the Open Government, the DILG, as a champion and advocate of transparency, accountability, and participation, committed to promote OGP principles at the local level. So we are looking now for the new generation of LGUs, the new breed of LGUs who will be at the forefront of promoting open government partnership. Kaya ang tanong ko sa inyo kanina, handa na ba kayo, di ba? Are you willing to step up and take on the challenge to become one of our OGP advocates? But just to give you an overview, no, saan ba pumapasok ang OGP localization? And that is when we harmonize the 6th OGP National Action Plan with local mechanisms for accountability, transparency, and civic participation to elevate the quality of these programs. Kahit na meron po tayo, sabihin natin, nagkakaroon tayo ng munisipyo sa barangay. We have local people's councils. We have now the online legislative tracking system. How can we improve it, di ba? Paano pa natin papalakasin ang mga institutions that are involved, our partners? How do we build on these gains and partnerships? And more than that, paano natin matutulungan ang pagbaba, pag-localize, at pag-implement ng ating National Action Plan in the local level? Yun po ang ating gagawin when we do the open government localization. It's now really strengthening the institutions, the programs, and the entire ecosystem for participative good local governance. Doon po tayo papasok. Kaya po, the DILG recently issued DILG Memorandum Circular 2025-065, institutionalizing open government in local government units. Diba? Ano ang gusto ng memorandum circular na ito? That our LGUs must now take on and serve as forerunners in pursuing open governance reforms. It enjoins our LGUs to integrate anti-corruption measures in LGU practices, advance digitalization, promote fiscal openness, strengthen disaster resilience, upholding transparency and accountability, and forging stronger and inclusive partnerships with non-government stakeholders. Diba? So it's really challenging our local government units to create their own action plan. It's really now challenging and enjoining our local government units to create now measures to articulate the essence and the very spirit of open governance, na hindi lang siya sa salita, but rather we are creating tangible, actual programs that our communities can see, feel, and participate in. Kaya gusto natin palakpakan, no? Palakpakan naman natin, ladies and gentlemen, La Trinidad Benguet. Ayan. Sila ang kauna-unahang LGU natin that issued a resolution supporting the open government partnership, particularly DILG MC 2025-065. Diba? Nagulat kami, we received this around July, that upon the issuance of MC 2025-065, they have taken upon themselves to really commit their LGUs to strengthening and advancing, but more than that, supporting the open government partnership. And that's just one of 83 LGUs. Ang gusto natin, lahat ng LGUs sa Cordillera will participate, will become our partners in advocating for genuine reforms for open governance. Okay? In summary, and to close this discussion on the Philippine Open Government Partnership, ladies and gentlemen, it is critical that we protect and maintain the people's trust in our institutions. We can do this by promoting open government. At a time where our values are tested, wherein our actions are scrutinized by the people, when our very institutions are questioned by the people we are compelled to serve, tayo po, bilang mga lingkod bayan, we should be able to step up and take on the challenge. Ipakita po natin na ang ating mga lokal na pamahalaan ay bukas, may integridad, at may kakayahang makipagkaisa sa ating mga mamamayan. So hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, lahat po tayo dito will become advocates of open government. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Thank you very much, Sir Reneno, for promoting open government, open governance, and we do hope that each one of us po shall take actions to ensure transparency and collaboration always for the benefit of our people. And at this juncture, the official opening program for our local government month has concluded, but we will see each other again po tomorrow. Day 2 of our program for the a day of data-driven governance, CBMS, and the future of CDP in the Cordillera. Registration po tomorrow will start at 7:30 a.m. And for now, let us have our dinner, which we can claim through our stubs. To those who don't have a stub yet po, kindly approach the registration area. While those who already have their stubs, you may now approach the assisted buffet on the right side of the hall. Dito po, to your right. All right. The dinner will be served at 5:30 p.m. For now, thank you and let us enjoy the rest of the evening.